have these characters that are sort of like meant to be these sort of a little conglomeration of like local surfers. And then I had this character called Byron, who was then this orange wild-haired character who doesn't even have a surfboard. So he goes to the surf spot where these said grumpy locals are. I call them the grumpy locals. And he's got like flippers and he looks a bit like dorky, and they all sort of, they look at him and he's like, what, you know, what are you doing here? You know, you don't belong, you can't sit with us. There's surfers, I think, who could take themselves too seriously. I've taken myself too seriously in the ocean. It's good to remind yourself, like, you're playing in the sea. What a pleasure. You're out there and you somehow, I don't know, I feel personally more connected to the world, as opposed to when I'm on land and I'm on my phone and all these things that distract you from being connected. I have a disability, and people have often like assumed that because I kneeboard, it's because I'm disabled that I kneeboard. Wasn't actually like the disability part at all. It was seeing that kneeboarding is this thing that a select few people do. Like, it's not as popular as it used to be, and that kind of like exclusiveness of it sort of made it look quite cool. When you're surfing, you feel like you're flying. You're flying in the ocean and you're playing in the ocean. It's this massive playground.
What I try to portray in the work that I do is a sense of playfulness. There is a lot of dread in the world. There's a lot of things going on that is actually way beyond our control, and that would, if you stop to think about it too much, you will feel powerless, and like it's so much. And to sort of retain the sort of childlike wonder, and to retain a certain level of whimsy and playfulness, and to sort of remind people of that is, I feel like, quite important. And I feel like I can do that also through like live caricature as well. If I can get someone's personality across in a caricature, that is, I've succeeded. The only real way to know that is if like maybe their family's there and they you know, the way they comment on it as well. You know, it's like, oh, you really do that thing, or like, you know, it's really deeply satisfying, because it's like then they'll have that forever now, and it's like that's, you know, there's a piece of them in it. Hopefully a big piece of them in the caricature.
It's so cool.
Say someone's a bit of a moody teenager, you know, and they kind of have a bit of a mop hairdo. I'll lean into that a bit, maybe a bit of lean into the stereotype just a little bit, because it's fun and people can laugh and they go, oh yeah, you know, it does seem like a bit of a phase that this person's going through. Just like, you know, and it just, I don't know, I feel like caricature helps us be able to laugh at ourselves and to be able to sort of channel a bit of playfulness and to not be too precious about how we look.
Somehow this little kid Byron helps the locals get in touch with their playful side and actually learn to appreciate the ocean for being this place which is like a playful haven. By the end of the story, their wetsuits actually explode off them. So spoiler alert, the wetsuits explode off them, and you see who these surfers really are, these grumpy locals, and that you don't realize who they actually are. So one's like this like old granny, the other one's like this like big butch guy with like lots of rose tats. The end scene is just all of them with Byron in the front, surfing this wave together, just like having a really fun time.